Okay, Tina, thank you very much for being here. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and just, yeah, your background, your story, and how you got to where you are now?
Hi, thank you for having me. And sure, yes, I can. So I've been working mostly in retail for almost 20 years as a leader. And on this way, I developed my way of seeing things or my way of leading people and my beliefs or my concepts. So I decided not a long time ago, approximately six months ago, that I would like to do only this as a business coach and support people leading
Mm,
others in terms of seeing people and leading people, not only profit or figures and results, but really being aware that people are our most valuable resources and yeah, help them to be the best version of themselves.
wonderful. Okay, that's amazing. And so, how long have you been doing that as a business coach?
Well, as I said, I just finished my education as a business coach in October
Okay.
2019. So I just started. It took me a while to understand what I want to do and that what I can do is also sellable, so to say. As long as I can remember, I was saying if I could do something with my hands, like being a hairdresser or like repairing cars or whatever, I would do my own business. But all I can do is lead people. I kept saying this like 15 years ago, 10 years ago, and I didn't realize that this is something that you can actually sell and that you can actually add value if you help people to do that, if you help people to lead people. So that's why in my opinion, I started quite late. And
Okay, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Well, that's amazing. Yeah, it's true that you can sell leadership and business advice. So, when did you start considering yourself a leader? Because you said you were doing that in retail. What was that like for you?
that's actually a good question. Um, I think I always was a leader, but I was not aware and I didn't consider myself as a leader consciously. I would say maybe the last 5 years since I've been in my last job where I was consciously looking for a job where I can develop people and lead people in a way
Okay.
that I think it's right. But I basically I always did it in the same way. So 20 years ago when I started with my first job leading people, I didn't do it very differently than I do it today. It was just not so conscious what I'm doing. It was more the feeling, when you try to help people, when you try to remove obstacles, when you try to make them better, when you try to give them all the tools, and when you try to build a team kind of together. So this is all the things that I'm doing today, but I am more conscious about it and I have a concept behind. And 20 years ago, it was just yeah, a feeling. So I think I consider myself as a conscious leader the last years in my last job that I'm just about to finish now to do only what I want to do. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a journey.
Amazing. Okay, so you were being a leader before and you had a feeling for it,
Hmm.
even though you weren't, maybe you didn't call yourself a leader. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, and what was that like? What was that like? Like, how would you describe the leadership that you had then, even though you didn't call it leadership? What was that like?
It was always an honest interest in people. So in retail, you always sell something. I was selling furniture, phones, clothes, whatever you want, but I was never interested in product. I was always only interested in people, how I can make the best out of them. And it was also connected with a lot of fear, because I remember when I started with this first job, when I started to lead people and I had different departments and different department heads, and I thought, okay, I have no clue what they are doing. I don't know how they do their job. I don't know how they produce results. So I just went into these departments and I kept asking questions and I worked with them to understand what they are doing. And my fear was that I will never be the boss or the leader of these people, because they will think she has no clue. She doesn't have the idea of what we are doing. So I remember that at the beginning I had this fear that I am not able to be a boss or a manager or a leader, however you want to call it. I prefer to call it a leader. And but then I started to understand what they are doing, that this group is doing, what this group is doing, and I started to connect things, and I started to have a vision in my head how I think this should work, and how I can connect them to help each other and to make together overall better result. And this is where I started to be a leader, when I started to pull, when I started to give ideas, when I started to become creative. And it turned automatically from the fear and being just asking questions into a leader, pulling and also pushing, and whatever you want, or however you want to call it. So the first thing was really fear that I will never manage it.
I gotcha. Okay. And what was it like for you to move through the fear? How was it like to move past the fear?
um, it's like, always when you live, when you force yourself to go out of the comfort zone, and when you see that after doing it you are still alive, or that you're reaching some positive results, or that your people are happy. I remember that with this first group of people, I organized the team building, and it was almost no budget, but it was so much fun, and it
Mm.
connected us so much. So this is a feeling that I think you can only get when you make people better. I was in sports for a long time. I was competing, I was winning, I was losing, but the feeling um, of connecting people and getting appreciated because you give them something that they feel better, it's better than any winning or whatever. So I can only describe it like this. It's just like, feeling as being a part of something, and being able to influence the quality of life of others. This is basically
Mm.
the feeling that I had.
That's amazing. Yeah, so I can definitely relate to you when you said that what you cared about was people,
Mhm.
and it wasn't about products or whatever, but you really have a heart for people. Yeah, I feel the same way, and I feel like that is what a leader does, right? It's like you make a person a little bit better. You bring the best out of people.
Mhm.
So, what kind of can you talk about like any skills, or what do you do to bring the best out of a person? What is your process for doing that?
Well, the first step, I believe that everybody should lead themselves. So I should be the leader of my life. You should be a leader of your life, in order to understand what I want and what is important to me. What kind of values do I have? What kind of goals do I have? Because if I don't know where I'm going to, I will not be able to lead others towards the goal. And also to know of course, the goals of the business, of the company, or whatever you're leading the people to. So first is life leadership, how I call it, because I have to lead myself. And then build on that, it's team leadership. For me, this is on one side conscious development of every single team member, but also a conscious development of a team, how you can connect them in the best way, how you can help them to make the best out of the strengths that every team member has, and then connect each team member with the business. So it's business leadership. What is the vision of the business? What are the values? How can they connect? Why are they here? Can they achieve some of their own goals because they are just here just now? Are they on the right place? So at the end, I can't lead people if I don't know what I want. And together with my life leadership and team leadership, we develop the business all together. And we have a toolbox with all the, let's say, communication skills, or different personality type knowledge skills, or time management skills, or whatever what we need to organize, to reflect, to change, or to handle change. And this way we create a kind of a culture, leadership culture, in which people know how they can behave, how they can take decisions, how they can be creative. That that it's not just like in the army, just filling out the orders, which is quite often, to be honest, especially in Germany. I think that in US you are clearly further than we are here,
Hmm.
and you have more engaged employees, if I can believe the studies that you can
Uh,
read.
okay.
Um, yeah, here it's a lot of things are very hierarchical. It's a lot, you can only talk to this person, do this, do that, and I don't believe in that. I believe that we are in this together, so we create a culture in a business, we create a culture in a company in which we can be leaders of our own, we can lead the team together, we can lead the business together, and we can consciously develop. Everybody, every single member of the team should be
Yeah.
able to develop themselves.
How yeah. So how do you build a culture? What is that like? Because that's really fascinating for me, and um, I can just see so many benefits of doing that. But can you talk about how you actually go about building a culture and making it harmonious?
You just, I think the most important thing is to live it. So to be authentical. I can only be authentical if I try things, if I develop myself, if I grow myself, if I know how to find my goals and my values, then I can help other people to do it as well. And if I help my team that way, so helping them finding out their own values and then creating the business values, the company values together, and creating the vision together and connecting with the vision, this is how we build the culture. Because on one side it's allowing them to be a part of it actively, just taking them in and asking them to work on the vision and on the values and on the goals. And this also gives them the responsibility, so they feel they can influence something, they feel they can create something. And also it's a different commitment, because if you as a group decide together what is important to you, what is the vision, what is the positive impact that you can have on the world and on the other people, then you are differently committed as if you just come to a company to spend your time there to get your salary. So I believe you create a culture if you do it together with a team, if you create together, if you also are able to say you are better than me, so come on, this is your part, you can do it. It's I'm out, you can do it, because this is your strength and you're better than me. And I can't be the best on everything. I can just try to create an environment where everybody can be the best version and do the best they can. So I think this is how and I think we can adapt this culture, and we have to adapt the culture. And I also think that the values and the vision might change, especially in times like now, and in Corona times, people start to think differently. I think differently. I remember about my Corona learnings, and I remember weeks after when I started to work again, and I said, okay, I'm going to keep doing that, like sports and cooking and whatever. And then if you ask me now, yeah, maybe I do 50%. So
Oh,
how do I go back to these learnings, and how do I stick to that? And so if we are able to adapt all the time together, this is the culture. It's just that everybody is invited and welcome to do it. But it also means that if I take myself as a leader, I have to be strong enough and open enough to take feedback, to take maybe also some negative feedback, and to listen to people when they say that something is not working, or it's annoying, or it's not efficient, or it's whatever. So it goes in both sides. It should give them, the team members, the chance to do whatever they think it's right to do to improve themselves and to improve the business. Does it make sense?
it does make sense. Of course, it makes sense. Yeah, I'm listening, and yeah, it's resonating, and I'm just kind of wondering more about you. Like, is there a way that you can tell us more about just like your own personal journey and any struggles that you've had?
Yeah, I can tell you about the struggles that I still have, because I'm I'm still in the beginning and just started, and probably you know it. In the beginning, you always have this fear: am I good enough? Will people like what I'm doing? Will it help them? Because I think about it so much that for me it's so normal, and I think that it's normal for everybody. But mostly when you go out there and start talking about it, for the others it's just new or different. And especially again in Germany, this is not the way how people are led. So my struggles now are, I'm still in the phase where I have to overcome it. I have to keep going. It's just the phase where I could either give up and fall down and I'm out, and I will keep being employed and doing what other people tell me to do, or I keep going and I keep believing in my idea and my concept and my and just spreading the word. So this is at the moment my biggest struggle. And in the past, I think it was, I didn't really believe in myself. I didn't really think that I can make a difference, that I can make something in this world. So I was raised as a girl, being nice, not talking too much, not saying everything, not doing, I don't know, these girls don't do this, girls don't do that. And I was always against it somehow, this feeling where your whole body goes against something because you basically think it's different, but your mother is telling you that it's not good what you're doing.
Yes.
So I was very late with that, very, very late. I was a long time a good girl, just listening to my mom and always having bad feeling when I was doing the things that she didn't
Uh-huh.
like. So I have a feeling I'm just now really myself. I just say what I think, and I want to try it, I want to learn, I want to experience, and then depending on what comes out, I will decide what comes next, and
Okay.
I will react and do whatever necessary to survive, so to say. I mean, I'm
Wonderful.
not in danger, but
Okay. And now I know that you kind of just finished your schooling, but like what kind of clients do you want to work with as a business coach?
clients that are open for the way of leading as I see it. So what I think, it doesn't work if there is a business leader, a business owner or whatever, who says, okay, come, or I will do your online program or whatever, and then it has to work, come and do it, like basically delegating the responsibility to me or to any kind of coach to do something. Because for me, this is just healing the symptoms, just saying this is not working, this is not working, this is not working, make it work. But it's not really connected to the cause. I believe that I would like to build up the culture with the business owners, that we share values and beliefs about people, and how we can grow business together as humans, so people who are open for people and who understand that it starts with them. It always starts with a leader, because leadership is your mindset and leadership is your lifestyle. I don't believe that you can be a good leader if you don't live it, and if you don't live it on an everyday basis, because this is just either it's a part of me and I live it, or it's not, and I can't work with people who don't believe in it or don't live it. So this is what I don't want to do. I can imagine young companies, who just say, okay, we have a bigger group of people who we are employing, and we would like to implement this leadership culture from the beginning on. So everybody should be involved, and everybody should really be able to see this vision, to feel the vision, to smell the vision. Or also the companies who are just very positive and growing fast, and then you have these two different worlds: people who have been there from the beginning and are still kind of connected to the why it everything started, to the heart of the company, and then new people who came later and they don't really connect to that. So to build a bridge between these two people, also leadership culture can help to build this bridge. But definitely the mindset is important to me. And doing my own business, it's actually the idea behind is to be able to work with people I would like to work with. You can't do this if you are employed, and often you have to say yes to things that you don't really think are yes. So I'm still employed. It's just my last months, and the last months with my boss there were so many discussions, because Corona really brought a lot of pressure, and I understand that, but I don't agree. I agree with the strategy, but I don't agree with the way we are doing it. And I keep saying this and keep saying this, because otherwise it's like I'm lying to myself, or I am selling something that I'm not living, So I would like to work with people who believe in the same as I do. And I think there are enough out there. And I think that the whole leadership is changing, especially with young generations, because they have completely different expectations on the working place, and they have different fears. They're not afraid to leave if they don't like it, So to find the right people, to inspire them, to give their best and to keep them, it's different today than it was when my mother started to work, or even when I started to work. So I think this is also the mindset of young generations. is changing the way of leadership. And yeah, this is I don't know if you can still wrap up all together what I said now. I know I talk a lot. Um, so
I think
you
yeah,
have an idea of my client.
you have an idea about the young generation and what how they're changing leadership. It sounds like you see that
Yeah.
in your work.
I experienced that, they, when you have interviews and then they come and I say, okay, I would like to grow. I would like to develop myself. And then I ask, okay, but what does it mean for you? And what would you like to learn? And where would you like to grow to? And what are your goals? They don't have that they can't really, or I didn't have it often. I had once 19-year-old girl who completely blew my mind because she was so conscious about everything, so young and so conscious, but this is one in a million. So mostly they want something, but they don't know exactly what they want, and they have so many choices that they don't know, it's not easy for them to decide where to go. So I see our responsibility to find the right ones that fit to the business, that fit to the team, that fit to me as a leader, and yeah, to make it really clear for them what is possible and to help them to define their goals and their wishes and values more, to be able to connect and to stay. And I think they're more like they want to try things, they want to be a part of it, they want to be more important. They just don't want just to do the job.
Right.
My dad or my mom or even people in my age, they still just they're okay with, if you tell them do this and do that and this is the result and that's fine and you did your job and go. The younger generations are not okay with this anymore. This is not enough for them, and
Okay.
it's not enough for me. I feel like a young generation.
You seem like you are. You have that energy of a young person. I'm gonna
Yeah.
guess 23.
Yeah, I take it.
um, so yeah, there's so many things I could ask, but yeah, how would you define leadership?
um, how would I define leadership? This is a good thing. I never thought about it in this way. So I always say it's a mindset and it's a lifestyle. But for me, leadership is honest interest in people, but based also on being an expert in what you're doing. So whatever business you're in, you have to know what you're doing and what you want to achieve in a combination with life leadership. So leading myself and honest interest in other people. So I think it's not possible to lead others if I don't lead myself and I don't know what I'm doing.
I got you. Yeah, yeah. I feel the same. I mean, I think leading ourselves is the key to the whole thing. I mean, we transition from being a student or being led or following to leading ourselves and knowing how to apply resources that we've collected to ourselves and to our own situation. And then we gain experience, which makes us qualified to lead others. That, in my opinion, this is how I've seen my journey. And it's nice because when I've been interviewing people for this podcast and video, show, and pretty much everyone is agreeing and saying, yeah, oh yeah, I resonate with that. And it sounds like you're saying the same thing, like leading yourself is the key to the whole thing.
But not, I don't have the feeling that a lot of people understand it. I don't know if you also saw the interview with Tony Robbins, and he said either you're a follower or you're a leader. And I was thinking about this, and I see my boss as a follower. For example, my boss at the moment, when she signed the contract with this company, she completely committed to that. So if the company says this is blue, but it's red, but the company says it's blue, you will say it's blue because you signed this contract. So for me, this is a clear follower, and you have to say because the company is, and I can't do this. I'm thinking what is good, how can I make it better, and what is working and what not. I'm not doing things just for figures. I'm doing things to reach
The
something.
core of this, I think that the core of this, the real issue is that you're an American at heart and you're living in Germany.
So you're suggesting I should move? Maybe I should.
Maybe because I've spent a little time in Germany, and I had a friend who told me a little bit about German culture, and that's a little bit common there, right? It's like being able to completely ignore like a fact or something that is right to just to follow orders. and
Mm.
there's like a naivety there or something. And that's, yeah, I don't think that in America that would go very far, right? Not that America is perfect or anything, but like people do generally have a like an independent spirit, and they'll think for themselves. And hopefully, if someone has integrity, no matter where they are, they'll walk away from that situation.
I hope so too, because I see companies building up the whole culture based on that, that they're, in my eyes, abusing people because they
Yeah,
expect you to work overtime, to do this, to do that. Okay, you can do it sometimes, but it has to be balanced. You know, if the whole system is based on that, then something is wrong with the company. The company is there to make a profit, so you have to be able to calculate how much you can invest in what to get a certain result. And if you build the whole system on the expectation that people will do more than they should, and it goes on their quality of life, this is the cost of the, because they don't see family, they don't see friends, they don't do sports, they don't do the things that are important for them as well. This can't work forever. People get demotivated at some point and they just do what they have to do. They don't do their best, and they don't feel good. You know, that's why so many people are unhappy in their lives, and why engagement is so low. And I would like to help companies to increase the engagement, because I believe that we can improve the quality of life if we just increase the engagement of employees, because they spend so much time at work, and if they are engaged, it means that they want to do something, they want to change something, they want to improve something, they are there to do something good. And even in US you have like 33% of people who are engaged. I mean, we have 10, but I think the 33 is not a lot, because I connect engagement with happiness and, you
yeah,
know, and the
yeah,
quality
yeah,
of life. I say, if it's only 30%, come on, what is with the rest? And imagine we would have 80% of engaged employees, just
yeah,
80, not even 100. What would it make with the business, with profitability, with
yeah.
efficiency, with a, and we have influence on that as leaders. So how can we ignore it? How can we read studies since 15 years and don't change it? I don't get this. For me, it's really, really hard to understand.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, it would be wonderful if 80% of employees were engaged with their work. That'd be
Yeah.
wonderful. So you're saying in Germany it's only 10?
Yeah, it's the Gallup study of
Okay. Okay.
I don't know, engagement at work or something. It's
Okay.
2019,
It
and 10
sounds
is
like
really nothing.
it sounds
Sorry?
like maybe that's part of your passion, is to like help employees become more engaged at work.
Yes.
Is that
That,
part of what you're going to be doing?
yes, for me, this is leadership. This is why I mean, I, as a leader, I'm responsible to do it as good as I can,
Yeah.
but also every single person is responsible for their lives to decide where should I be, where is the right environment for me to be able to be engaged. So on one side, I would like to lead this way, and I would like to show people how they can lead this way
Yeah.
to increase engagement and quality of life. But on the other side, I would also like to open the eyes for the employees to take this responsibility and freedom that they have
Yeah.
to decide what is the right environment for me. And even if the environment now is wrong, so what? So let's go somewhere else and let's try something new. I know it's not that easy, and I'm experiencing this right now, but I believe it's the right thing. And I think I will bite my ass if 5 years later I think, why didn't you do that, or why didn't you try this? So I will try it no matter what comes out at the end, but I will try it now, you know.
Mhm.
And everybody should. And
Mhm.
I see when I lead people this way, the last 5 years, and I have the same team, and I see that this has positive results. I see huge steps that they made. I see they're much more self-conscious, much more self-confident. They're much more aware of the words they are using, of the questions they are asking themselves. Just because I went to this journey and I just took them with me, because I thought, this is amazing. What I learned, what I tried, what I did, like leading myself, I just shared, and they took a part of it, maybe not everything, and then something from somewhere else and something from somewhere else. But the results that you see when people start consciously looking into themselves, it's this is the best thing that can happen to you. This is the salary of a leader, you know, to see that people are just getting better as people, as human beings.
Yeah, 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 for sure. Well, I would love to invite you to be part of a summit that I'm creating for, yeah, the teachers leadership and just how to yeah, grow a business, help people develop good qualities. So if you're interested in sharing about maybe like how to improve company culture or how to lead at work, something like this, I would love for you to be part of this. Are you interested?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Why not?
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So I'll send you more info. Are we connected on Facebook?
I'm not sure, but if we are not, I will send you I will ask you to be my friend.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. All right, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that summit, which starts September 17th. Um, yeah, so I'll send you more info about that. And what else would you say? What else can you say to some maybe aspiring leaders, or maybe they're coaches or healers or heart-centered entrepreneurs, and looking to step into more of a leadership role in their life or improve their business? What could you say to them right now?
um, that just to be really, to start with yourself, to be aware that everything, whatever you do in your life as a leader, as a person, it starts with you, and that you are a reason, you're not a coincidence, you are the cause of everything what is happening. And I think that the main clue is, or the main thing to understand is that if I want to change whatever, I shouldn't start to try to changing the environment. I have to change my filters. I have to change how I interpret the experience that I'm making in the environment. And once you start thinking like this, you see people around you differently as a leader as well. Your team is not a cause why the result is bad. Your team is not a cause why you feel bad. Your team is not a cause why we don't reach this KPI. It's always, I am always the cause. And I think that this should be something that we consider in our role as a leader, and that we are a role model, and that it's a
Yeah.
mindset and lifestyle.
Yes, 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 yes. We're the role model. We have to demonstrate the example. We have to live it.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure. So how can people start doing that a little bit more?
Being very conscious about everything you're doing, being humble. So if you, I think if you're humble, you don't think that everybody else's fault, but you look to yourself first.
Yeah.
Being a servant. So I am, as a leader, I'm service. I
Yeah.
remove obstacles. I help. So being a servant. Um, Being curious, being just open to make experience and say, okay, I don't know this, but let's go and see, let's try, being curious and open to just experience new things. So in these terms, doing new things and going out of the comfort zone. Also looking to other industries. So not only to looking out of your world that you are in, if you, let's say we are in retail, but maybe look what the hotels are doing, or what, I don't know. So just to get some other input, other experiences.
Yeah.
And changing perspective. I think I could talk forever. If you ask yourself, like, what would little child think about it, or your mother, or the person you hate, in my case it would be Trump, don't tell it. I was so much thinking. I was doing this exercise, and I was making my thoughts. Okay, I was doing the exercise of different perspectives, and I was trying to find a person I really don't like, because I believe you can learn um, something from anybody. And Trump was the first person I could think of. Oh yeah. But okay, I hope you are not a fan, but it doesn't matter. It's just my opinion.
I'm not one way or the other.
So,
I can see that he has some qualities that he's very good at, right?
thank
Communication.
you. Yeah.
It's hard for me to tell his real intention, although it seems bad, but I don't really know, and so I just, yeah.
What I mean, you can learn something from anybody. So let's say
Yeah,
you're in a situation where you struggle somehow, and say, okay, how would Trump see this situation? How would he decide with his strengths? So maybe
yeah,
this can help me too. Or a 100-year-old Chinese man, he would say, come on, this is not important at all, or whatever. So I think this is what helps us to have a better perspective, more choices, more freedom. Yeah.
for sure, yeah. That's a really wonderful exercise to change perspective. Now, one thing that I would add to this, I think you probably already included, is how about like removing yourself completely from the situation?
Mhm.
Sometimes this helps to change perspective. It's like you completely, for me, nature and meditation are helpful there, where you
Mhm.
just kind of don't let yourself think about it and you just move. Yeah, you let it all go,
Mhm.
because, and you get a refresh in your mind, and then when you rediscover it, you have a new perspective. So that's one way that I like getting a new perspective on things.
Yeah, this is still challenging for me. But I definitely believe that this is it's a good thing to do it, because also only this way you can lead with trust. You know, you have to be able to let go and yeah, take the distance between the challenging situation or a problem or whatever you're working on. And I love to meditate as well. I
Yeah,
love to start the day this way, because it's yeah, because I have the feeling that I decide what I let into my head the
yeah,
first thing in the morning. So no Facebook, no anything. First, it's just my time,
yeah,
and then everything else. I don't even have push notifications, for example, in nothing. Nothing, no push notifications. So I really have to go into the app to
yeah.
know what's going on. And sometimes it's a problem because I don't look and I don't know that people are coming or going or whatever, so I have no clue. But it works somehow. I love it. I love it. I
That's
love it.
great. Yeah, I think I have push notifications from like Facebook Messenger and text messages or something like that. Something simple. So like, yes, I do get notified if I have a message, but I keep my phone on airplane mode pretty
Yeah.
much all the time, except for when I need it. So yeah, I've learned how to turn it on and off.
Yeah. It's you who decide about your time. This is the real power as well. I'm not depending on that thing. So it's yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have to be reactive. I can be proactive, and this is what I want to be.
Yes, yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. If we get stuck in a reactive state, you can't be creative from
Yeah.
that state.
You're just running after. We say that you distinguish fire.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It's like a survival mode, but it's not really a thriving mode.
Yeah, true.
So wonderful. Thank you so much for being here today. Is there anything else that you want to say?
I'm just really grateful, for the opportunity, and it's really nice to see that some other people also share the opinion, even if it's far away, but still. So no, I'm just grateful. I would like to spread the word. That's it. I feel great.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much. It's so nice connecting with you. And I look forward to connecting again as we plan the summit.
Thank you. Thank you. The
All right.
same.
Have a great day.
The same. See you. Bye bye.